Come through, queen. I wanna see ya. Come through, queen.
Hi, everyone. It's Dan.
And Brendan.
And this is Come Through, Queen. Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Dan.
It's an exciting time. We got 5 shows ripping and roaring.
Oh, my God.
2 premieres this week. We're knocking on finale's door for a few shows. We got like reunion looks coming out. We got
horror show reunion looks.
We got reunion trailers coming out.
Horror show in its own way, a good way.
But yeah, so there's a lot going on. But we should get to some news that has hit the internet. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the big items this week is something that we haven't really like kept up with. At least I'm speaking for myself. Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann.
I will say I have been tardy, meaning I'm not tardy.
It was kind of like a double whammy. We learn that they owe over $1 million in back taxes.
Jeez. And
they're getting divorced. So this comes from Reality T. If you're somehow not caught up in the Kim Zolciak news, here's the rundown. It recently came out that the former RHOA star and her husband, former NFL player Kroy Biermann, owed IRS over $1 million in back taxes. Since that moment, everything's been pretty much been a mess. Following the IRS news, Kim filed for divorce from Kroy, seeking primary custody of their children and the restoration of her maiden name.
Wow.
Kroy then counterfiled in turn, also demanding primary custody of the kids. This is rightfully some pretty wild news, and for all it to come out at once means everyone's latching onto the story. Even other Real Housewives stars have jumped in on the commentary train. Okay, so despite the news releasing so fast, hard, and unexpectedly, the plan behind the divorce was not so hasty. 2 sources close to People gave insight on the relationship, saying that the divorce was apparently a long time coming, and that Kim had been planning it long before the news came out. The first source says that she had not told anyone, not even family. She didn't tell anyone. Even friends were kept in the dark. Both sources iterated how taxing, interesting word there, the financial troubles had been on the relationship even before the IRS case. This included the foreclosure on the couple's house. The money has been an issue, the friend said. A second source emphasized the money but gave further insight. There was no cheating on either side. The money has a lot to do with the split, but there were other issues. They mentioned how Kroy had essentially been managing the family, which is one of the reasons that they're not on good terms right now. They pointed out that they're a tight family. This isn't easy for any of the children, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's interesting that I think something else that came out was that Kroy kind of like runs the family business.
Yeah.
Which I wonder, that's kind of like, oh, were you not making sure these taxes were being paid?
He ran it into the ground.
Yeah.
Basically. Also, like, what was their income? Like, was it social media posts, flat tummy tea?
Well, I mean, Tardy for the Party ended like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah.
So it must have been like, once that stopped, things got really bad.
Sure.
Right?
I guess. Also, I think she like married him in part because he was an NFL player, but he was like a mid-level NFL player that like,
okay,
I don't think made that much money compared to like, I don't know, who's like Gronk.
Gronk, yeah. Gronk's rolling in the dough. Yeah, maybe she'll like set her eyes on Gronk next.
Yeah.
Is Gronk married? I feel like he is.
I
don't know. Who knows? Already the girls are saying she's going to end up on a Rugget.
Yeah, apparently she wants to.
Yeah. I think I would rather that than a return to RHOA.
Yeah.
We really need to like test the waters on a Rugget before, because like she's notoriously bad at being on the show.
And she never went on a Housewives vacation.
So this would be,
aside from like her tour,
her first vacation will be a Rugget, a Housewives first.
And the way Rugget is going now, it's like bad vibes.
Yeah. I read online that there was a lot of conversation in Andy's new book that we talk about even in more detail in the pre-show, how like the Rugged casting for season 3 was like all over the place.
Yes.
So can Kim fix it for future Ruggeds?
Right. They tried to get Garcelle.
They tried to get Garcelle. Tinsley drops out. There's even more names attached. I think like people. Megan King Edmonds was passed on. Yeah, there's a lot there. But I do think like this does mean Kim's going to be thirsty to be back on the scene.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, she already filmed for Atlanta this year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she knew. Like they said in the article, it's a long time coming. She
must have gotten a little bit of a check for that appearance.
Yeah.
Not enough to pay off those debts.
I mean, the problem is like, okay, to pay off taxes, like you got to go earn money. But the money that you're earning, you got to pay taxes on that too.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to be working overtime. You know? Wow. Okay. We have some really sad news that we learned of this week.
Yes. So Guerdy has announced that she has breast cancer. She did it on a post on Instagram. She wrote, "In March, I found out some news about my health. I was in St. Bart's having the time of my life when my doctor called with results following a regular mammogram checkup. I have breast cancer. It took me a while to process it all and is why I took a break from social media last month, as many have noticed. Many of you reached out to check on me, and I'm thankful for your caring gestures. For now, I'm preparing for my upcoming surgery, and then will come my treatment plan. This process is definitely intense, and what I ask of you is empowerment, not pity." She went on to say, "I will Gerdify this cancer as I Gerdify everything else in my life. I am lucky that this breast cancer was discovered at an early stage. It is still scary, of course, but I have love and support from those around me, and that alone is the fuel that I need." And then she encouraged everyone to go get checked up.
Wow. Yeah, I believe like right after this came out, Adriana threw like a fuck cancer charity event for her, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So it seems like she has been filming throughout this.
I think I've seen her in photos for sure filming. Also, it like coincidentally came out when like the government changed their recommendations for when people should start getting
yearly mammograms.
Yeah, yearly mammograms.
I think they changed it to 40 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure most people listening to this like know someone who's dealt with cancer or more specifically breast cancer. So obviously it's like so sad to hear Guerdy dealing with this as well.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a silver lining, I think if they're showing it on the show, I feel like that will be a good positive thing as far as like informing people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Miami, we learned through like those Bravo press releases that come out every now and then.
Yeah, I think they had upfronts.
Upfronts, sure. That Miami is moving to Bravo.
People are worried though that the production value is going to go down.
So like I don't really understand how this all works because like it's purveyors of pop that produce this show.
Yeah.
So like, is it now they'll be given less money to produce it?
I think like
Bravo?
Maybe the worries are not warranted because, for example, I mean, we watched the premiere of Atlanta this week, and like the production in Atlanta feels like it's gone up between seasons.
Oh, I mean, I was going to save it for Atlanta, but didn't the confessionals feel like we were like zoomed in on them under a microscope?
Yeah, but I mean, like other parts of the production just felt like a little more zippy. I mean, they had like new backgrounds on their intros and like all that kind of stuff. Sure. So never fear.
Okay, yeah, no. So I'm excited for that. I mean, I'm excited for us personally because we had to cram Miami Thursday morning / day prior to recording this very podcast.
Yeah, and I still like watching TV shows live to be part of the discourse.
Oh yeah. I mean, we never know when's the right time to be like chatting about it online or even with each other.
Yeah.
And I think that'll help Miami. It'll be nice to not have to watch 3 episodes in a row when the season starts.
Sure, yeah.
There's a lot of positives there. some other news from this Bravo upfronts / press release moment is that we do have a Crappy Lake update.
Which, if reminder, Welcome to Crappy Lake is the title of Sonia and Luann's Simple Lifestyle show that's coming out.
Yes. And we learned that it's coming out in July, kind of accompanying RHONJ reboot.
Yeah. So you get some new, you get some old.
You get some old, you get some new. So that's exciting. Some not exciting news.
Well, let's hold out hope, but
let's take it with a grain of salt.
There is a chance that the Come Through Queen curse might have struck again.
It's like never stand.
Family Karma was not included in this press release as far as new releases for the 2023 to 2024 season.
Yeah. So they weren't included. Real Girlfriends in Paris, of course.
Well, I mean,
was not
come
included.
on. Let's focus on
let's focus on the family.
Yeah, something that had 3 seasons is a really good show. I mean, like in the comments of the Bravo thing announcing it, it's all people being like, "Where's Family Karma? Where's Family Karma?"
I should like add my voice to that.
Yeah.
I hopefully our friends are not leaving us.
It's like we're in the middle on our Patreon of this Family Karma like catch up recap thing, and we were like, oh, and then once Family Karma comes back, we can include it in our regular recaps. But
I mean, the fact that Brian Benny will have a show in the next year gives me a little bit of hope.
Yeah, and they're like regularly using clips from Family Karma in like their AAPI promos.
Which is fucked up.
Which is fucked up if they don't bring it back.
Yeah. So there's that. Anything else interesting from... I mean, people were pointing out, like RHONJ and... like RHONJ and Atlanta or something weren't there, but it's like they're currently airing.
Yeah.
But like Vanderpump Rules is currently airing, but that was listed. But I think that's like a different beast right now.
I'm hoping that there's a few typos. And
SummerHouse wasn't included either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I'm hoping there's a few typos and things that were not included are coming back.
Oh my God, typos happen all the time.
Yeah.
Like even on like big press release moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everyone. We're just humans. Humans behind that computer screen.
We're not AI quite yet.
We're working on it. Just kidding. Hate AI. We stand with the writers.
I know. Oh my God. I mean, AI is really coming for all of us.
Yeah.
This podcast could be AI any minute.
I mean, it would free up my Thursday nights.
They're studying like hours of us yapping at each other.
No, the best thing is like, if you type in like what is Come Through Queen into like any AI generator, it definitely thinks that a different Dan is one of the co-hosts.
Yeah.
And actually like a Dan who hosts another podcast.
So is he coming for my gig?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's the little update of what's going on in the news. Why don't we kick it over to our 5 shows airing this week?
So Sunday nights, we're getting 2 shows back to back.
A doubleheader.
Yeah.
We're starting with RHOA.
Yes, Atlanta's back.
Atlanta's back. Episode 1. I gotta say, there was a Drew-shaped hole in this episode.
I know.
Because I do kind of think Drew is the future. Not to be a weirdo, but...
You've said this.
I've said this in the past, but like... She really lights up the screen for me.
It's like Sonya's definitely not the future.
Oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay, Sonya, we're like checking in with the family. We got like everyone living there.
Yeah.
Everyone living there. Everyone employed. I think that's like a recipe for disaster.
I think she like trying to copy Candy.
It's a slight Candy copy, but I mean, now that you're mentioning Candy, like I wouldn't want to be copying Candy. Candy seems like unhappy.
Yeah, there's a dark cloud over her this season so far.
She and Todd don't seem to like each other. Ace is calling, crying on the phone. Mm-hmm. Like Ace is like, "Mom, like come home," and she's like, "Okay." She's like, "Oh, I need to stop working less." And then she's like, "Actually, let me put Ace to work instead.
Yes, let's get him in the commercial.
let's film a KFC commercial. That is the way for us to be together.
Like him commenting on like Housewives drama in that commercial. Like, Mom, remember this clip?
Yeah, I feel like with Candy, it's like, when is enough enough?
Yeah, and it's like, obviously, I love Candy, but if you don't want to be here
On the show?
does it feel like she doesn't want to be here a little bit?
Yes and no. It's like you don't want to be here, but like you're like doing sketch comedy, like of memes of the show.
Yeah. Well, she's really into her YouTube career.
Like dressing up as Marlo, dressing up as Sheree. I did not know this was happening.
I kind of knew about this. I feel like I'd come across it on like Reels or something like that. So I kind of knew about it. But the funny thing is, like, Sheree talking about it is like
Funnier than the meme.
Yeah, because Sheree also doesn't get it. Like, she's like, keep my name out of your mouth while you're pretending to be me, or like something. It doesn't make sense. I love Sheree, and it's just like being in that home with her, being within the delusion of it all is so fun.
Yeah, it's like we drop one grifter for the next.
Yeah, and this one has a wine label called Inest, which is one letter away from a word.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump. Yeah, we were like texting about that while we were watching, I think.
Because in their very first scene, I was trying to figure out, and it must be, but like they're kind of trying to do like Bethany style spawn con of this wine. Like they're having a glass of red wine, sweet red wine, which in this first scene with him.
Yeah. I mean, he's hot, but like he's from the franchise that Monique went to.
Yeah, but different city.
Yeah. But same love and marriage, city.
Yeah, Huntsville is the one that he's from.
Yeah.
Which is a place in Alabama.
I almost want to watch just to know what Huntsville is.
It's a city in Alabama.
No, I know, but like I just like what like so many reality shows share the same city on like different franchises.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen so many of these places on like a Real World, on a Housewives, on a this, on like there's so many, but like how many reality shows are being filmed in Alabama?
Exactly. I mean, Florida, sure.
Okay, but that's like we're bordering, right?
Yeah,
like
because
half
it's not
up,
like
down.
Yeah, because there's the Panhandle part of Florida that's like right next to Alabama.
Sure.
I've spent time there.
Okay, yeah. So my curiosity there is just like learning about new things.
Yeah.
But he's here, Martell.
Yeah, they do a lot of like sexy shots of him like putting on pants and his like package gets stuck.
Yeah, they really. I mean, he definitely like practiced that move. That was like there was a few takes for that. Maybe I would say.
But this is like also what I mean. They're like doing different things with the cinematography this season. You see it a lot also at the Harlem Nights party. Just like we're doing different kinds of shots.
Okay, I never realized Todd was 5'7". And Candy 5'3" in heels.
That when he called them like, what are they gonna do? Aren't they like both 3 feet? Is you're 5'7", right?
What?
Right?
I'm 5'10".
I was kidding. For some reason, I like to have this narrative where you're like very short, but like literally, I posted a picture of us the other day where we're essentially the same height.
I'm like very average.
I've always said that about you.
Okay. I mean, Marlo does light up the screen for me.
I mean, just even watching her like eat quesadillas with the nephews.
I don't remember like I can't like quote it right, but it's like something like, oh, like what do we have tonight? Like, what are the options? And then one of the boys is like, not much. We got shrimp or steak.
The only thing that scares me is whenever there's a life coach coming by.
I think the sentiment is good.
Yeah. Life coach to me gives people who identify as empaths. And if that's you, I'm sorry.
Like Honey Mustard Girl's dog, yes. Barkley?
Well, Barkley actually is an empath. Yeah.
The first dog empath. Okay. Yeah, so Sonya I'm not crazy to hang out with. We got the return of Magneta, who we love to root for a friend, but like I'm not that interested in her.
She's not really popping off the screen.
Sonya's sister got a confessional, which was a shock to the system. Because I was like, wait, is like someone else commenting on Sonya's family? And I was like, no, this is the sister. So for me, the problem with Atlanta right now, and we'll get to the Harlem Nights, is like I don't really get what like the reason for the season is.
It feels like we're manufacturing fights, and we're starting the season with these like 2 manufactured
pre-planned fights
that are like, we are just meeting these people for the first time.
Yeah.
Yet we're like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think like Jersey since it's currently airing, is an easy like compare and contrast. Like with Jersey, it's like the family dynamics. That is what the point of the show is. Like, I don't know what the point of Atlanta right now is.
Yeah. I mean, what it started as like a group of like friends / acquaintances. But it like they had a natural like chemistry and a natural like give and pull. Like the first episode of Atlanta ever was like that charade party where Nene wasn't on the list, and like that was so entertaining, and like it was Kim changing her outfit in a gas station parking lot. Now it's like there's this new woman who has been telling people that she is friends with Candy, but they're not friends.
So this is like it circled from uninteresting back to interesting for me, because like it was interesting because it's like, what are we fighting for? But then it was then interesting for me in that, wait, this is a friend of, like, aren't we all supposed to just pretend that we know these new people that come onto the show?
Exactly.
And then like they're getting into a fight over Candy not knowing who she is. But then, I mean, Courtney was coming in hot, but like she's doing that. I'm watching like on the meta level of like, oh, because like she's trying to make a name for herself and like and like come in with a buzz. You know?
But we're like we're talking about like third parties that aren't even on the show or telling people. It's just like it's confusing. And then obviously the whole thing with Sheree's new man, where everyone kind of knows his reputation. That will be the interesting thing to watch, I think. Yes, to get to know Huntsville, but also like to know what bad things he's done.
Oh yeah, like I think we need to do a little bit more explaining, because it's like we're almost like treating him as if he's like a person that of course we all know who Martell is.
Yeah. What was Kenya's really funny line about like how Sheree should have a spin-off of herself?
Oh yeah, watch me date these like flop dudes or whatever.
These like real deadbeats of Atlanta or something like that.
Yeah, that was fun editing. But I wasn't like set on fire by this premiere.
And like we get a to be continued right off the bat, and like I thought this first fight was going to be happening like during this episode.
I know, we already know what it's like. Kenya and Martell yelling at each other.
Yeah. And like because he slid in her DMs, which like proves that he's just like, the thing that they're not saying is like
he's just trying to get on the show.
They're accusing him of trying to be on the show, basically, which that is an interesting conversation, but
then just like be more blunt about it.
Yeah, like break that fourth wall, baby. We've done it before.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. To compare and contrast our double header for the night, SummerHouse Martha's Vineyard, I thought it was a strong premiere.
Yes. Meeting new friends.
And it's kind of like, I heard that they didn't know going into it that it was going to get the SummerHouse labeling, the franchising, which like, how can you not like, how could that not cross your mind? But
because SummerHouse only gets like 400,000 viewers,
which this was getting 300,000 viewers. But I think it's like perfect, because like I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, Jasmine and Silas are like the Kyle and Amanda of the house, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So like that was like a place for me to land with.
Everything comes back to Kyle Cook for you.
But you know what's interesting? It's like, it's not Silas, Kyle, Jasmine, Batula. If anything, I want to say Jasmine is the Kyle of the house.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she has the most connections.
Right.
She's the former Playboy Club employee with like half the women.
Which is like, it's so funny. The Playboy Club, which like existed in the old XL, which was that gay club on 42nd Street. Did you ever go to that?
I feel like I was there once for like a summer like party weekend thing. I don't know.
Every time I went to that was for like an event or something that was like an open bar.
It's a hotel and a bar, right? It was.
Yeah, it was the Out Hotel.
Okay.
And then XL was the club.
Sure. Okay. So Jasmine's our matriarch, and she's married to Silas. Now, I want to learn more about this because it sounded almost like a COVID relationship into marriage. Like, did they meet in 2020?
Maybe.
Because there was like a picture where like they show the two of them and they're like, oh, like she became my girl in Martha's Vineyard. And then it's like a picture and it said 2020 on the bottom. Obviously, it would have been the summer because like you're not going to Martha's Vineyard in January.
Right.
So like that fascinates me in terms of these people out there who are now like maybe getting married, who met during this very strange time in our lives.
I know.
You know?
There's probably so many people now though, because we're now 3 years out.
Yeah. But it's like so much of your relationship was like under this weird pressure cooker of like not living the life you normally would live, which I think we're going to see that play out from the trailer. Cause like, he's like, doesn't want her to go out, like hang out with the girls and blah, blah, blah. So that was interesting to me.
It's also interesting, like in Summer House OG, we didn't have married couples coming into it like first season.
Yes,
it was like very single focused.
Well, I was reading in the Amanda Batula Glamour magazine interview that Kyle broke up with her because the producers were like, you need to come on this show single.
Right.
Which is so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then Silas is only really bringing to the table Preston, his gay fraternity brother.
Yes.
And Jasmine's the one who's connecting us to everyone else. Like, okay, so she connects us to Alex and Nick, who are fraternity brothers at a different fraternity. And she was friends with Alex, just like being a quote unquote creative in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah. Same. I have a friend named Alex.
Okay, so Alex is the one who I think is like vegan and runs and blah, blah, blah. And Nick is the one who's like, I have an outfit for every moment of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I liked his glasses.
So then Nick brings in who I think is like one of the stars, Amir.
Oh, yeah. Amir, he was like the hot hottie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Amir... Okay, so like after sitting in Summer House Martha's Vineyard for a little while, I was like, why did they not put one of these kids into Winter House?
Right.
And Amir and Bria are like right now my two top contenders for a Winter House moment.
Do we know for sure that they're not in a Winter House?
I feel like we would have like put 2 and 2 together by now. No?
But we only saw like a little bit of like them filming from afar.
Yeah, I mean... I'm really relying on the super sleuths because it's like not me who's analyzing the footage.
Right.
It's the super sleuths. And I don't know if they were invested in this possibility.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's TBD. Okay, so then we got Jordan, who's like at the Playboy Club and a friend of Jasmine. We got Bria, who is at the Playboy Club, but not a friend of Jasmine so much, more coworker vibes.
Yeah.
And we have 3 people from the cast photo missing. Jason, Summer, and Shanice.
So like this already stacked cast photo, 3 people were missing.
And then the strange part is Mariah, who we are introduced to in episode 1, who's the friend that like was living in the car with Jasmine.
Yeah.
Like, and then they write a pilot about being evicted and living in the car.
Yeah.
She's not in the cast photo.
It's wild.
So we have a friend of Summer? No one's talking about this.
Also, friend of Summer, and then also, isn't it weird that there's someone named Summer in Summer House?
I know.
It's
like
her show.
It's like we keep talking about Martha. It's like, let's focus on Summer. So Bria comes in with star energy.
Yes.
Now, she's kind of the basis for like the first major fight of bringing a dog unannounced.
Which relatable content for you.
A greater crime could not be committed.
I do. And I like, obviously I'm a dog person. I love dogs.
Yeah.
I'm dog sitting right now, but I agree with you on this.
Yeah. You can't bring a dog unannounced.
Yeah.
It's like, you could bring it if everyone's cool with it. Like, people don't have allergies. People don't have dog trauma.
You know who is in the cast photo? The dog.
The dog. Yeah, so I'm obviously team Jasmine in that little showdown.
Also, I thought it was interesting they talked about Oak Bluffs. As someone who's read Summer on the Bluffs, Sonny Hostin's book.
I might have to pick that up now that we're like spending time in Martha's Vineyard.
Like the historically black part of Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
And this is why I wish like this was released like a week ago, or Sonny's book was released later, so she could have been. It would have been the perfect pairing to have her in the chair and watch
with
Happens
one of the
Live
kids.
with one of the kids.
Oh my god! And I'm sorry, this past Sunday, why didn't we have a SummerHouse Martha's Vineyard kid? I don't even think we had an Atlanta girl on Sunday.
I mean, like, did we put someone behind the bar?
No, we didn't.
Because that's how they used to treat original SummerHouse.
I know, but I don't think I think they're only doing that for like C tier. So like A tier is like Housewives. B tier is kids. C tier is like dancing queens. I think a dancing queen is going to be behind the bar.
Sure, yeah.
You know? Yeah, I mean, I was like so caught up in like this whole Mariah thing today.
Yeah.
Of like, why is she not in the cast photo? I analyzed the trailer. She seems to get into it with Bria, and I wonder if that happens like
early
episode 2, and now
she's gone.
She's evicted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my guess was when you said that to me earlier.
Yeah.
Back to Watch What Happens Live for 1 second. I just want to talk about one little tidbit from Andy's book that I forgot about.
Okay.
He was talking about this phenomenon where PR people of celebrities who aren't Bravo celebrities will try to play up the fact that they're
person watches Bravo.
That the person is a big Bravo fan, and sometimes it's clearly a lie, and Andy can always like tell. And I need to figure out who he was talking about, what celeb.
He named the celeb?
No, he said there was a Watch What Happens Live, and somebody was like firing blanks, and they were supposed to be this big Bravo fan, and I could tell that they weren't.
Okay, so question: isn't the Diaries concept like date?
Yes, I just was walking when I need to go back to that part. I was walking when I was doing it, and I wasn't like about to be on my phone because I was trying to go somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to figure that out. Just interesting because he was like, yeah, the Housewives episodes tend to be the higher rated episodes of Watch What Happens Live.
Tend to be. It's like quadruple the ratings.
It's like Julianne Moore and so on a Thursday will get like
100,000.
Yeah.
I really don't even understand why they do it. The Thursday episodes?
I don't know.
I don't like it. It's such a strange phenomenon because like I would imagine like Jimmy Fallon is consistent throughout the week.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas like the ratings difference between like Kristen Doute being on and like Patti LuPone on a Thursday.
Yeah.
It's like two drastically different shows. I
mean, if I were them at this point, I'd be putting a Vanderpump Rules person on every day of the week.
Oh my God. Morning, noon, and night. Like they actually like have to live in New York for a few months, just constantly being
a residency,
constantly being on Watch What Happens.
It's Judy's house instead of like Harry's house.
That's so sick. Okay, well now that we've spent some time with our new friends in Martha's Vineyard, we got to check in with our old friends over in the Hamptons.
Yes.
Which they gave a little slight dig to in Martha's Vineyard. They were like, oh, this is more exclusive than the Hamptons.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's true. Martha's Vineyard's a fucking island. It's hard to get to.
I mean, you got to take a freaking plane to get there.
I mean, I was wondering, I was like, it's so weird that they're all arriving at night. And then I was like, oh, because it takes fucking forever to get there.
Yeah. I mean, there are ferries, but you're like taking a ferry from like the Cape. So you got to like get there somehow.
I've done it. Oh my God.
Wait, you went to Martha's Vineyard?
Yeah, I had a friend in college whose parents have a house there.
Okay.
And so you go to like some weird town,
yeah.
and we were on a bus from Boston to that town, Oof. And I had this is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. We had stopped at the McDonald's in South Station ahead of time to grab food for the bus. And so I had a soda, and I for a second, I put it down on the ground so I could situate my stuff, and it fucking fell over, started leaking, and then the fucking Diet Coke was going down the fucking bus and like touching everyone's fucking shoes. It was so mortifying.
I mean, it's the good thing for you. It's like hard to trace back to you.
Yeah.
Unless you're like really doing like investigative journalism, like running back and seeing like where the river originates.
Yeah. But it was horrible. Never bring a fountain soda on a bus.
Well, don't put it on the floor.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's take the bus. Let's take the jitney out to the Hamptons. We're picking up with. We already watched this 7-minute spiral, but I think it's interesting now, having seen that, and the like contrast with the same girls who were kind of like amping her up, then
at the party
talking shit about her.
Yeah.
It's like Danielle does not have a friend.
Never trust a bedwetter. No. You can't trust those girls who sit in the bed.
But the funny thing is, it's like the core bedwetters are not even here.
Yeah, that's true.
It's only Paige.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should say you can't trust Paige.
I mean, Paige, though, is just so funny.
Yeah, I mean, she had some fucking lines that were cracking me up.
She wore shoulder pads to the beach.
Yes. And then Lindsay commented, she was the one who told me to wear that dress. And then the fucking thing when they're talking about dungarees, and she's like, what the fuck's a dungaree? Is that for the
British? Jeans for the British?
Did you see Andy was on the Amtrak with Craig Conover?
Oh, no.
They like ran into each other and they sat together the whole time.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, no, but I think Maya was like chief super upper of yes-anding Danielle's spiral.
Yeah. Then she was like, the moment Sierra called, she like ran outside to like gossip, but then like ran into Danielle and so like was on the phone with them. Maya.
Okay. Let's get to Dockers, which it's like we already experienced these 7 minutes that I've been sitting with for a week. And then at the party, Danielle asking when each person found out about the engagement. It's like, obviously every person here found out about the engagement before you did.
Yeah.
Because how would they have teleported here, you dummy? Like,
one girl's literally like, I flew in from DC.
Yes. Well, that's Dania or something, who is like Lindsay's best friend apparently. Yeah. And that was the one girl talking sense into her. And she's like, you gotta stop. Like you are gonna regret this. Like, this is what one of the girls from the house should have been doing.
Yeah.
Like, you aren't thinking straight right now.
It's like, fucking pull it together, kid.
Like, stop talking to everyone about how upset you are.
It's this scene, I was laughing, but I was also cringing.
I was laughing and crying. And
then
before we got there, we had the producer like talking her down from the ledge.
We fucking saw the executive producer.
The executive himself. The CEO.
Yeah, the CEO. Shut up.
The chief executive officer.
Elon himself.
Being like, you don't have to go. And she's like, no, I have, like, crying. I have to go. I'll never forgive myself if I don't go.
Then your fucking boy.
Okay.
Who you were like, you do your little, like, I'm seated for live tweet thread that you like to do for every show.
Not every show. Just if I'm like, if going to the episode feels like it's one that I gotta like talk about. Like this past RHONJ, I was seated for it, but I wasn't seated for it.
Right. I saw your little journey though with Kyle being like complimenting him, then like being like, uh-oh.
well, like he was talking to Carl, being like, I'm just like so happy for you. You guys have like, you're so happy. I know this is what you want. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God, King. Like, you guys have been through so much and like, you're here for your boy. And he's like, but I gotta tell you, Danielle is so upset and talking about it to everyone. And Carl's like,
I will say, I do give Kyle credit, and I think I said this a couple weeks ago or a week ago. I give him credit for seeing the situation because he was anti Hub and Carl at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
Give him credit for seeing the situation, being like, I'm not going to change it. I just have to be happy for them. And turning that frown upside down.
Yeah.
It's like, Danielle, I'm sorry, you should have done that.
Yeah, you should have done that. I don't understand what she is trying to accomplish. What is the goal here?
I think she's just having like a
breakdown.
and she's not able to control herself right now.
Yeah. You gotta always think, what is the goal?
Yeah.
You know?
Also, like, is there a world where she was a little more drunk than we thought?
Ooh, I mean, it felt like that by the end of the night.
But even at the beginning, like, they had already been cocktailing.
Yeah, it's always hard to, like, keep tabs.
And she is, like, a morning beer girl. So maybe she was, like, a little drunker than we thought. And that's part of the meltdown. Obviously, there's a bigger conversation because she didn't leave and feel bad about it the next morning because then she went and riled up Robert.
This is a Saturday that the engagement's taking place. So we're in the sandwich of the weekend, you know?
So what do you mean? Like peak of party?
So like, it's not like a Friday where they're like driving in,
Yeah.
they went and got engaged. Like, I'm not drinking all day. Like, potentially she could have been drinking all day.
Yeah, that's what I think. But then, like I said, like, it's not like she had regret or anxiety the next morning because then she spent the whole week riling up her soon-to-be ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. She's like, guys, okay, all this happening, and then going to the confessional, and she's like, guys, Robert was boiling. I was like, how do you not see this? You have to see the forest from the trees. That's what they always say.
What does that really mean?
Okay, so it's like, if you're focusing on the tree, you're not looking at the big picture.
Oh.
You got to see the forest from the trees.
Oh.
Yeah, put that one in your pocket.
Yeah. And then that can be like, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it.
Well, you still got the forest.
Does it fall or whatever?
Okay. I mean, we have like football day, which isn't that interesting. My one note is I wish Lindsay was not wearing her sunglasses when receiving the information from Carl about Danielle talking shit the night before at the engagement party.
Oh, you wanted to see.
I wanted to see the visceral anger. I want to see activation.
Yeah.
Like when Danielle's like trudging onto the beach, I thought Lindsay was gonna go and kill her.
Yeah. The thing about whenever they're on the beach, and I think it's because they're filming, they're always like so far back from the water, and it just feels really hot.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're not a beach boy.
I know. I'll sit for 20 minutes.
Bring an umbrella.
I sat under an umbrella in pizza and I still left early.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I feel like there's got to be like more footage from this weekend. I need the Peacock director's cut.
Well, I mean, now that they're doing the PumpRules director's cut
I know.
for the reunions, let's get the Summer House one.
Give me that. Okay. So we're back in the city for the week. Gabby goes on a blind date. Amanda Batula has fertility updates.
Mm-hmm.
We get back to the house for the weekend.
And
it's final weekend vibes.
Final weekend vibes. We're going to go on a boat eventually at some point. So Danielle arrives dressed as a captain.
Which is like so corny.
It is so corny. Robert comes and he doesn't have to cook for once in his life.
For the first time in his entire life, he does not have to cook.
He may have been boiling, but he wasn't boiling water.
No, he's boiling blood. Okay, so, So I originally thought, like, I was worried that Carl's storming off was from engagement night.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that's not the case. You know?
I agree.
I'm glad he got to, for the most part, enjoy that night.
He got to enjoy a week or so.
But Kyle, even before they go out that night, is kind of coaching Carl of like, there's going to have to be some conversations.
Yeah.
And what was interesting was Kyle was like, oh, you know, if you're going to come at the conversation how you're feeling right now, it's not going to be good. But I don't even think Carl was that activated. Like, I would have been like more than he was.
Yeah. No, and it's just like Danielle and Robert are kind of like stewing, boiling. Robert makes some like little thing about how he texted both of them and like only Lindsay responded and Carl didn't. So like now they're like friendship is over.
Like, as Carl mentioned, he had 400 texts. Like, what? And then what is, it's like, congratulations.
Thank you.
Someone said thank you. Like, do you need a parade for you?
Yeah. He's a Viva Drescher. There should have been a banner. Welcome, Roberto.
Welcome, Roberto. You don't have to cook. Rah, rah. But like, I've never even seen Robert so interested in anything.
Well, I think
Danielle,
him and Danielle are like lip syncing for their lives.
I wanna just like put a thought out there. You know what's so interesting? Danielle, for the first time, going on Winter House this upcoming season.
I know.
Isn't that really interesting?
It is really interesting because people are like, Danielle's over.
I mean, I as much as like we are giving a critique on this episode, I actually feel bad how much the internet hates her right now because I feel like she is, outside of this, a good person.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess. And like, hello, we need single people in the summer house, and she's single this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different conversation. But
Yeah.
I think like, I think we're seeing like a bad month in her life. And I do think like in general, she's probably a good friend
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there.
Okay. Now they're going to come for us.
No, I'm preventing them from coming for us. Or are they going to come for us as like Danielle slight defenders?
Yeah.
No, I think I've been very clear at how I think she did one of the worst things you could do in a situation like this. Yeah. That friend just trying to talk her down off the ledge, it was really like stuck with me at that engagement party.
Add her to Summer House.
Give her a rosé bottle, as we used to say. Wow. Why don't we get to RHONJ, which it really feels like we're like teetering on a cliff right now.
I know. We're about to go over.
We're about to go over the cliff. Oh, we gotta say first and foremost, Jen Fessler is main cast.
I mean, we rarely meet the relatives of a friend of like this.
Like it's almost like her two mothers.
For her to have these identical twin mother and aunt is like
Gazzy and Mazzy.
Gazzy and Mazzy. It's like no wonder Jen Fessler is who she is.
And we learned even just more about her, like growing up. You know, she had this wild mom, and her dad was apparently very serious. They divorced. They got married, re-divorced. It seemed like a tumultuous time in her life. We learned Kazzy and Mazzy were some of Barbra Streisand's best friends.
That tracks to me.
Okay, but like when they were telling the story and like showing old pictures, I'm waiting for the picture of Kazzy, Mazzy, and Barb.
Right.
And that never comes.
You're right. But like the way the Fessler family is connected to Hollywood royalty.
James Gandolfini, Barbra Streisand. It's like, who next?
And it's like tri-state Hollywood royalty.
Okay.
That doesn't even make sense as a concept because Hollywood is famously in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, but like people come from across the globe and end up in LA.
Everybody goes to Hollywood.
Oh my God.
That's for you Madonna fans out there.
That's also for you Overwatch fans who landed on the Hollywood map and then are listening to me sing it in the group chat.
Oh, I miss Overwatch.
Oh, I know. You gotta. Well, once you move, you promise you're gonna break out the PlayStation.
I'll break it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I really thought that was her tomato moment.
And maybe it is. Maybe they're like nearing the end of the season, and they're like, the editors are like, let's get Cassie and Mazzy in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We have a Catania family celebration celebrating Frankie Jr. being such a hard worker.
This is like typical, like how Italian families like treat the boys.
No, but we're also treating the girl. She's also a hard worker. When she was 4 years old, she knew she wanted to be a dog doctor, and here we are.
Here we are, and now she's got like 14 dogs in that house.
And Paulie, his 2 kids, the hardest workers you've ever met. One of them named Brooklyn, interestingly enough.
That's very actually like Brooklyn the Film A promo, because isn't Brooklyn the Film A about an Irish person
Coming to Brooklyn?
living in Brooklyn?
Oh.
Isn't it? Isn't that
So I remember I read
Saoirse Ronan?
Zoisha Mame? I remember reading, this had to be like a decade or so ago, how like Brooklyn became this like weird branding thing across the globe.
Sure, yeah.
Like it's just like a popular like throw it on a shirt and people like love Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know? So I wonder if like this child like fell victim to the branding.
Speaking of Paulie,
Oh.
every day
Oh.
as we go on with him,
You're liking him less and less?
what do you feel? I'm scared to say anything.
No, what is he coming for you?
I feel like I don't want to get on Dolores' bad side.
Okay, yeah, you do love Dolores. Okay. What are your concerns?
I just like, I don't know.
This is a safe space.
I don't know. I just
Do you think he wants to be famous?
no, it's not even that. I just think he just like, I don't know if I would be able to like sit and have like a fun conversation with him.
Okay, but you don't need to, but she does.
True, but if what she needs is what I need.
Okay, well, I think we're opening a whole nother can of worms here. Well, it felt like things were going great until he said, I have the ring.
Right.
And that shifted the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany. Give Brittany a friend of.
I think she does deserve.
I think, if Dolores and Paulie stick around together, I think that makes the case for Brittany being friend of to keep Frank Sr. in the mix.
Yeah. Or why not give her a tomato?
Let's not rush things. She had me laughing when she asked, did you know any English when you came over here?
Brilliant. That's who we want.
That is who we need on our television screens.
Truly. I mean, it is Judy Chian.
It's Judy Chian. It's very ingredientsian.
Yeah. Coming.
Okay. We got to talk about, I think the main takeaway from Teresa and Louis sitting in the backyard doing their wedding planning is that Zia Melissa's photo as the contact in Teresa's phone is like one of those photos that like the tree huggers use to make funny as like an ugly picture of Zia.
I didn't notice that.
Oh, you don't know?
No.
You didn't see this?
No.
Okay.
Is it from early RHONJ?
Yeah, early.
Yeah.
It's like black hair a few jobs ago. Yeah. So I feel like that's setting the tone for me.
Yes.
But listen, here's where I'm going to maybe give an unpopular opinion, because I feel like everyone loves to be like this side or this side, but everyone is so wrong. Like Zia and Joe, obviously for this wedding, you set aside the weekend. Like, what do you think this is? Like, you are from an Italian family. You know it's a whole cavalcade of events.
Exactly.
So, like, why are you pretending like, oh, you didn't tell us, or like, blah, blah, blah. Like, give me a break.
Right.
But at the same time, they don't want to go. Tree and Louis don't want them there.
Tree's putting everyone else that they know in the wedding except for them.
She's like asking Chanel Ayan to like hold a bouquet.
Truly, like Chanel Ayan getting the invite.
Period.
Yeah.
Dot. Juicy Joe calling Louis to warn him about Joey Gorga.
And like this narrative that Teresa has about the only time me and Juicy ever fought was about Joe Gorga. So like you didn't fight when he was the reason you went to prison.
As you were like bagging your bags.
Or after like you saw the clip of him referring to you as
C-word.
His B wife or his C wife.
Yeah. You didn't yell when you had to spend a fortune on attorneys.
Right.
That like probably forced you to stay on the show longer than you would have wanted to.
It forced you into that weird contract with In Touch Weekly where like you were giving weird exclusive stories to them every week.
Doing photo shoots in prison.
Yes.
You didn't yell. Only about Joey. Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about Danielle Cabral and not Mama Cabral. What's Danielle? Nay? Isn't it Nay like, they say like Nay, the maiden name?
Yeah.
I would love to like land on what her maiden name is.
I like just calling them by the married name.
Danielle's mom took the Cabral name.
Yes. Well, I mean, like, to be honest, she seems eager enough to like be on this show that I could see her taking the Cabral name.
Well, I mean, I think we're kind of getting to this in terms of it's one thing for the brother to ice Danielle out, but the mom too. He only talks to the dad.
Men.
Isn't it weird to only talk to one of the two parents? Like, I would like kind of view that as a package deal.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, are they together? The parent? Oh no, I think they're divorced.
No, they're divorced.
Oh,
yeah, remember?
Yes,
it was like the thing at the beginning how they talked about how they now get along.
Yes, because of the kids. Yeah, the grandkids. Okay, then that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, I think that Danielle Cabral had a pretty good first season. I think I expected maybe higher heights from her.
I just think it's hard to break through on Jersey right now.
It really is. It really is.
With what's happening with Tree and Melissa, it's like just like these new girls are getting lost in the sauce because it's just so big.
I do think though we're laying a good foundation with Danielle Cabral because I'm interested. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
I want to get to the bottom of it, like Jackie Goldschneider, who was left out of this episode.
Oh, and in Andy's book, he talked about after he had to demote Jackie, talking to her, and she was like, I'm going to be the best friend of there ever was.
That's such like the A student in her, you know? She wants to be like the top of the class.
Do you think she achieved that?
I think like for a demoted girl, she did like a pretty good job.
I mean, like, it's hard to, like, compared to like Luann, demoted girl, that's the industry standard.
The blueprint.
Yeah.
But that's different because I think that was a different time, a different show.
She got outshone by the new friend of.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're meeting Cassie and Mazzy.
Cassie and Mazzy. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Is it Cassie and Mazzy?
Yeah, Cassie and Mazzy. Okay. Carolyn and Marilyn. Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm like very familiar with the Fesslers. They too took Jen's husband's name.
The aunt as well.
Yeah, the aunt took the name. Cassie Fessler and Mazzy Fessler. Okay. We touch on with the Fudas, which they did a little like tricky editing in like commercials or previews where it was like, is the son gonna like not be into this?
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, obviously I want you to do that.
Yeah. This is interesting. I talked about it, how this is like weird for a first season storyline.
Yeah.
But It is what it is. I hope it all works out for them.
Yeah.
I like Fuda, I guess.
Yeah.
They put her on Watch What Happens Live last week with Willie Geist. I was like...
Not the pairing.
Not the pairing. Like, give him, like, actual royalty of New Jersey.
Okay. Interesting that she was 23 years old when she got with John Fuda and met this stepson.
Yeah, and she's been watching RHONJ since she was a senior in high school.
Okay. I need to get more into this because a lot of people like tag on maybe like an old account of hers. It's like Bravo Lover 123 or something.
Yeah.
I need to find out what she was saying. Do we have those receipts?
I think there are receipts. Didn't we talk about this a little while ago? We were talking about how like she actually is the big fan. Jackie Goldschneider just happened to be walking by in a mall one day.
No, I need to see. You know, I promise next week I'm going to come back with Fuda receipts.
Okay, Fuda receipts. Oh, and then did you see Danielle on Watch What Happens Live with Bridget Everett? That was also an interesting pairing.
No, I didn't watch that. No.
Oh, my mom watches that Bridget Everett show.
Oh,
she was like, "Oh yeah, I watched that."
Oh, interesting.
She said it's good.
Okay. The Louis ranting ahead of this like Irish party that we're going to was scary.
He's really showing some true colors, isn't he?
All the blood rushing to his head.
Yeah.
He looked like he was like about to like set on fire.
He was boiling.
He was boiling
like Robert.
Much like Robert. And like, I'm not even like really reading the room. Like Teresa just seemed sad as he was talking to her.
Yeah.
It seemed like the saddest she's been. Didn't she look so downtrodden? Mm-hmm. That's like the perfect word for this moment for her. Yeah. I'm just
afraid.
Of next week.
Also just like what's going to happen with them.
The reunion.
Their relationship.
Well, I mean, the thing is, what's done is done. I think...
Oh, I meant...
Louis and
Teresa.
Ooh, yeah. That's a justifiable fear. I'll say that much.
It's like... Seems to be... in the mix in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Bierman-esque.
Okay. Keep your eye on that.
Yeah.
Let's go over
Allegedly.
Let's go over to Vanderpump Rules.
Oh.
One for the ages. For Vanderpump Rules, I was seated.
This was an episode of television.
It's so interesting watching an episode of television created to be a finale. But not yet.
Not quite yet. And it would have been...
a good finale.
A great finale.
It's better with new information and new context.
Yeah.
I think...
I mean, but even, like, think about it. It would have been a great finale just, like, without the context, too. We would have been like, why the fuck is, like, Sandoval going so hard right now? And, like...
Would we have been asking that?
I don't know.
Because I think he's gone hard randomly other times.
Yeah, but I mean, with Raquel right there, we'd be like, what?
I'm not gonna. I don't know. I also even wonder, like, would we have like all the Raquel Easter eggs that we got?
Right.
Like in the regular season.
We probably wouldn't have put in like the shopping for the lightning bolts.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just so much that we're viewing it with a different lens than the original thing was filmed for.
Yeah. The guy behind the counter when they were shopping for the lightning bolt was really cute. Did you notice that?
No.
Oh.
I did notice that one of the employees were like, Charlie, you should come work here.
Yeah.
Charlie, not at the finale party. It's interesting that we didn't have Charlie at the finale party when like James and Allie had to catch a flight. Mm-hmm. Sheena had COVID. Mm-hmm. Let Charlie bust a table or something.
I know. Let her in. I mean, we even got Christina Kelly there. I mean, obviously that made sense.
Christina Kelly's main cast. Of course she would be there.
Also, she was activated a little bit this time. As activated as she can get.
Yes. I mean, she's activated for 2 in the scene.
I know.
As we know.
Her like yelling at Tom, like, why are you doing this right now when your girlfriend's over there fucking crying?
Yeah. Okay, before we like really settle into the final party, the Tom Ariana stuff at home.
Him laying the groundwork for like this breakup,
A dissolution,
is wild. And like his thing, what he wants to do with her is like do mushrooms
and watch the sun rise or
watch
set.
the sunrise. Like, you're 41 years old. I'm sorry, like you should be asleep.
I know. Wake up.
Is
with
that
the,
ageist?
Wake up with the sun like me.
Yeah,
As I
exactly.
mentioned in the pre-show, like we wake up at 6:30 when we hit our 40s.
Exactly.
That's what we do. Isn't one of the funny gags that like in Scandival we learn that Sandoval's lying about his age?
Yeah, he's like saying he's 39, but he's really 41 or something.
Or at least 41, like
Yeah.
maybe even higher.
Yeah, he's 50.
He's 50. Although this isn't like one of those like Twitter gay like but he's hot moments, but like I'm like shocked by his 40-something-year-old body.
Yeah.
It is like shocking.
Yeah, I mean, like he was shirtless at Webster Hall the other night.
Okay. And Ariana just wants to watch Love Island.
And she's like, that actually did make me laugh. It's like, she's like, yeah, I talk to him all the time because that's all we talk about her like gay friends. Luke or whatever, who works at Tom Tom.
So it's like Logan and like
Logan is
Logan
Lala's.
no. But then there's is it Luke is hers? I mean,
we're talking about like how like in like
Straight
the
women's
early
gay
2000s.
ancestry?
Yeah, exactly.
isn't it like very like Kathy Griffin, like
Yeah,
my gay?
No, but I do think that Luke is her friend.
And they go
Lucas?
karaokeing, and then when Tom's Sandoval on Wednesday night, the day that Beyonce kicked off the Renaissance tour, being like, "Do you think I don't like Beyonce?" It's like just like such a randomly perfect
Synergy.
moment, synergistic promotion.
Do you think Beyonce knows about Scandival? This is an interesting.
I think yes, because we know she's a Bravo fan, and like, how do you? I think Bravo fans who don't watch Vanderpump Rules know about Scandival.
Yeah, like I had dinner with my old roommate last night, and I was just like curious. I was like, "Do you know about Scandival?" She was like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
Like that's like the one Bravo thing that is like come out of
sure.
bigger culture. I mean, like J-Lo knows about Scandival, as we learned on The
Yes,
View
yes,
last
yes, yes.
week.
Which is just a hop, skip, and a jump from her own J Laval or a Rodaval.
A Rodaval. Oh, it is bold asking her about a Bravo show given the
Yeah, it's her-
dissolution of her relationship.
But it's like she should be like, good. I'm with my husband now, right?
Yeah.
my husband Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Also, was interesting that little karaoke moment was Ariana gave us a little Easter egg because do you remember a couple weeks ago, like she was spotted like singing karaoke and everyone was like so surprised about how good her voice was.
I did not see this.
Oh, she was like singing "You Ought to Know."
Oh my god, I need to roll footage.
Yeah, I've been like on the Vanderpump Rules beats
You've been living on hashtag Scandival.
in the Reddit. The Reddit, I will say.
Oh, well, you're on the Pump Rules specific Reddit.
So yes, but I also go. Okay, there's tiers of different Reddits in
Well,
the Bravo world.
don't offend anyone. Are you going to offend the Redditors?
Maybe no.
Okay.
I just prefer the /Bravo Housewives one.
Okay.
I feel like those are the people that I live with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know the Pump Rules one.
Well, I read it.
Okay. Yeah.
I read a lot of weird Reddits. Like I read this one Reddit specifically about this guy I follow, not follow on TikTok, but who comes up on my For You page. And then I read former View host
Michelle Collins.
Michelle Collins Reddit as well.
I'm recently looking at the Pokemon trading card game Reddit because they came out with a new game on the iPhone. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Let's talk about sandwiches.
Yeah. What would you make for your sandwich
Well,
shop?
I would definitely make the Brendan chicken salad.
Oh, yes. And would you name it Brendan's Chicken Salad?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Well, because I mean, a lot of my cooking journeys are like, I'm either like following the recipe to the T, or I'm like changing a thing or two where it's still mostly that recipe. But your chicken salad is one of the few where I consulted many chicken salad recipes, and then I like combined what sounded best from all of them and create something really tailor-made for you and me.
It was really good. It was really good. It was like a curry chicken salad.
Yes.
I think so. I really like, if I want a treat to go, I like to go to a bodega and get like a chicken cutlet sandwich on a roll. Just like pretty simple with cheese, lettuce, tomato, mayo.
Sure.
I would want to do like a artisanal version of that.
Okay.
So high and low.
Okay, high low. Okay, you brought to my attention, which like really blew my mind. It's like, this to me is on the same level as Scandival. In the kitchen of Something About Her.
Yeah.
The containers and containers of Trader Joe's dips and spreads.
Yes. I will say, I have to give credit here. So that was noticed by an acquaintance, a friend of mine named Dexter. But it was brought to my attention by our friend and former guest co-host, Sophia Phillips.
Oh my God. Thank you, Sophia.
Yeah, thank you, Sophia.
On the beat.
Yes. And I mean, like, the thing is... We were in a group chat talking about it, and like P pointed out, you didn't really chime in.
No, I saw what he said. What?
Yeah, but he like was like, well, yeah, obviously they're not going to have like food distributors, yada yada. But I was like, in my brain, I'm like, you have a chef consulting, like, shouldn't she be making like some like dips homemade?
I know. Brendan's chicken salad is not a spread from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, and like the Trader Joe's spreads and dips are all like so specific. So if you're like using those like really specific flavors, it's like, I don't know.
Well, they're like, oh, you got to try the Greek goddess sandwich. It's like, yeah, it's just the Greek goddess Trader Joe dressing. Yeah. Like, what is there to it? Yeah, but
and we've always said the scientists at Trader Joe's, brilliant minds.
Oh my God. Well, the minds that they have in the freezer department.
Oh, there's nothing like it.
That's where like the A++ kids go.
There's nothing like it. They need a Trader Joe's in like Park Slope.
Yeah. No, back when I was in downtown Brooklyn, that was in my repertoire, but not anymore.
Yeah, because you were like right between two of them.
So yeah. Okay. But I got as long as you wrap that Trader Joe's sandwich with a sexy piece of paper, then it becomes
sexiest piece of paper with a really sexy sticker too.
That's a sexy logo.
One thing that bugs me about this party is we weren't really, and I know it was a small party, but we weren't really like bussing properly.
Like,
so like
throwing your bus around?
No, no, but like nobody was coming to like take empty cups. So like that table in the middle was a mess, and I saw like Katie's mom, an icon, a legend,
a main
Terry,
cast member,
was taking like her photos of Ariana and Katie in front of the like logo, and like she didn't have great framing, so like there were like empty like wine glasses in frame, and I was like, let's bust this table.
Let's bust it.
Like you're acting like that's like not a term.
I know, it's just like like a funny like what's like a hominin? A hominin.
Oh yeah, homonym.
Okay, did you notice like gay pop star Simon Curtis in the audience of Sir?
Yes, and like famously, he's
tweeting during Scandival.
He was tweeting from the house.
So when he's tweeting from the house, I'm like, what? very Doreen with Jamie Lee Curtis, which is like, what? But now it's like, oh, I believe it now.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't believe him, but I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And then in other gay news, Joey Zauzig from Real Friends of WeHo was at Watch What Happens Live with Katie last night.
And I was confused by the internet as Katie Maloney's brother.
Well, that's the kind of info you're going to get on the Vanderpump Rules Reddit. If you see what I'm putting down here.
Okay, but so I'm on the Vanderpump Rules Reddit, were they saying that is Katie's brother.
Yes.
and we as gay people are saying, no, that's Joey Zauzig.
Real Friends of WeHo.
We are one of the tens of people that saw him on Real Friends of WeHo.
You know what? Give it a second season. I enjoyed it.
Did you finish?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were laughing because, like,
I was
you were
laughing.
embarrassed?
No, I was laughing because it's like a double entendre.
Oh. It's a homonym, much like Bustin'. Ay, ay, ay. Now, Raquel.
Well, first of all, the little convo that we have by the garden bar.
Where they always used to throw Ariana.
Yeah. And Raquel's like, this is never open anymore. Like, I'm sure Lisa appreciates you dropping that little tidbit.
Yeah. You're going to get that tray taken away from you real quick.
And her, like, trying to, like, convince Ariana that her relationship with Sandoval is bad.
It's like, you really don't seem, you're not happy and, like, you're not intimate. So, like, what are we doing here? Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you're one of my best friends, though.
And then...
Oh, Raquel, like, getting into it with Katie.
Yeah, well, first we've got... I think there's, like, a chain of events where first we've got, like, the Terry and Tom sit down. Where Terry's basically telling Tommy, like, how disappointed she is in him. And
after Tommy spent Mother's Day with her... without Katie.
Post-breakup.
So
there's that. And then Raquel wants to sit and have the conversation with Katie. And it's just like...
with an audience.
Yes. And my favorite thing this entire episode was just like Katie's reactions to Raquel. It's like she's looking at her rightfully.
Like she's a Martian.
Like she's a Martian. Like, what are you saying? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then... when Terry chimes in and Raquel goes, oh God, Terry.
I mean, Terry is truly main cast.
She was. And like, I wanted to jump through my screen.
And defend Terry's honor?
And we heard on Twitter today that Katie's actual brother, not Joey Zauzig, did apparently step in multiple times.
I do think she has two brothers, and I do think one might be Joey. Not Zauzig, but like Joey Maloney.
Joey Maloney?
Yes.
Not someone named Joey Maloney.
I swear to Christ.
Are you there, God?
Are you there, God? It's me, Joey Zauzig.
So yeah, not Joey Zauzig jumped in a couple times.
I know. Why did we not have that on camera? Are we not signing forms?
I think we were signing forms because the brother was on camera.
Oh, I actually, during my second breeze through today in preparation for this podcast.
It was Blink and You Miss.
Oh, okay. I was really keeping my eye out for him.
She like hugs him. He gets a little chyron that says like Katie's brother.
He got a chyron? I'm really, I gotta step my game up.
Yeah, but then he was tweeting, like the Malonies are active on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. The Malonies, you don't want to come for a Maloney.
He was tweeting, then Terry, may she rest in peace. No, I mean, no.
Sure, babe.
I think I meant to say something else.
Maybe we respect her?
Like God love her. No, stop. She's my favorite person. I don't want people to think I'm disrespecting her because I love her.
Because then I'll jump through the screen to you.
No, I love her. And I want to pitch a buddy comedy road trip series that's for Christina Kelly. Oh. Terry and Christina Kelly.
She has like a child to take care of.
Babies can go in car seats.
Okay, baby. Actually, like famously, some babies like thrive in a car seat. Like my parents used to drive me around, putting me to sleep.
Yeah, and Terry can drive and Katie can sit in the back seat and like look at the baby.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
with
Christina.
and hold a sandwich. Oh, Christine's in the back.
Yeah, Katie's not busy with the sandwich shop.
Okay, she's busy spreading Trader Joe's dip.
Yes. She's just like at Villa Rosa cutting a tomato constantly. There's like a ciabatta next to it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh God.
Oh, Ariana sobbing because everyone's fighting.
Yeah, and it's like she's she's like between her like friend and business partner and her best friend.
Yeah.
And this is a thing, Ariana. I love you, but this isn't like a both sides thing.
Oh.
Like you can take a side here.
Yeah, you know what? I think the thing is though, she was already juggling like Katie versus Sandoval, and now she's juggling Katie versus Raquel. So it's like she's doing all these jugglings. Like Sandoval actually did her a favor that she could finally like settle in with friends.
Right.
You know?
She can exhale now, Simon.
Yeah, she can exhale.
But then we've got fucking Sandoval fighting with Terry. Sandoval,
Oh my God.
get you a man who loves you as much as Sandoval hates a Maloney.
And loves a Raquel.
Yes. Though, I mean, from the trailer, we don't know if he loves her. Remember, that was the little cliffhanger at the end?
Well, we'll see. Oh, one last thing. This Lala was wearing the outfit that she was wearing when she was talking more in depth about Randall. In the original trailer, maybe? She's wearing the little blazer tonight.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she was wearing when she was talking about Randall.
And like Lisa kind of alludes to the Randall of it all
Yeah.
in her little speech where she like addresses Lala, like everything that you've been through.
I wonder though, with the Randall stuff, like, were they doing her a favor by like cutting it so that they're not getting her in trouble, like legally?
I don't know. She talks pretty openly
On
about
the
it
podcast,
on like
yeah.
the podcast and on like Jeff Lewis Live.
Sure.
We have to talk about obviously the fight in the alley where Katie,
Holy ground.
I mean, she knows it's holy ground, so she brings Tom there. I will say there've been like some additions to the alley. There's now like what looks like it's doing like New York City cosplay. Like, did you notice like the park bench and like there was like a light next to it that looked like it was trying to be Central Park?
Why is there a bench in the alley?
I don't know. Because it used to be like a table and like some chairs.
Yeah.
And this is another part where Katie's just like, go away, which is like smart on her because like, what do you say to somebody? Like she didn't want to get into the argument with Raquel to give like more like credence to whatever Raquel was doing. She was just like, go away.
Yeah. Well, these are the best days of our lives.
They kept on doing like flashbacks of Katie. And I'm like, wow, she really right now looks like better than she's ever looked. Like the fucking bob.
The bob is right. We finally landed on the right cut.
Yeah.
She was looking stunned on Watch What Happens Live.
Yes.
Just a quick programming note. We learned today, like, we saw the trailer, obviously, for the reunion, which looks great. We learned we're getting uncensored, extended versions on Peacock the next day.
Yeah.
Which, like, part of me almost, it's like, if this wasn't Super Bowl television that you have to watch live, I would have rather just watched the full version.
I'll watch and then rewatch.
I know. I guess I'm going to do both, yeah.
And then we're getting like a Secrets Revealed, which they haven't done a Secrets Revealed in a second, I don't think. But it's like, hopefully one of the secrets is not Joey Zauzig jumping in to defend our girl Terry, who I want to reiterate, I didn't mean to say rest in peace. I just like didn't get my words right.
You were trying to honor her in like a Christian way.
Yes, she truly is my new favorite person on television. I just want to reiterate that again.
Okay. Let's get to a freak of the week and the one true queen before it becomes you, real quick. Okay, the freak of the week is one Robin Dixon. Really opening the doors for new SpawnCon opportunities.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the audio clip from her Instagram, but this is really like a visual ad as well, I would say, because it's like she's
walking
like somberly. That's not even the right word. Like without like a destination. It's like walking without a destination.
It's like what an alien would think like a human walks like.
Okay. So she's walking for the aliens.
Yes.
Okay, so this is her.
In the midst of some very uncertain times in my personal life, California Psychics has provided me with the clarity, understanding, and motivation that I needed to believe that everything is going to be okay. I recently sought guidance from California Psychics advisors, and I am amazed at the experience. My joy in life is restored, and I am more encouraged than ever about my future.
So the psychics are getting her through this very tough personal time she's going through.
It's like, no offense to people who like
oh,
are into this,
okay, yeah.
but it's just like such a wild move.
Who's into this?
Psychics?
Yeah.
People see psychics all the time.
Oh, but I feel like people are into astrology, and I think that's like a easier pill to swallow than like, I think there's less people into psychics.
Should we go to a psychic?
No, I'm good.
On Las Culturistas, they talked about Matt going to that
I
psychic.
know, we don't need to copy the cult.
I kind of want to.
Okay.
No, though, I'd be afraid. They'd be like,
I'll be the Bowen that doesn't get read.
and I'll be the one that they'll be like, you'll be R.I.P. like Terry.
Okay. Let's get to the One True Queen.
Okay, this is all you because
Okay, well, this actually, like, I got to give it first and foremost to Bravo influencer correspondent Yolanda Pfister, because I think he was the first one really tweeting about this. It was at first just like an image. In the center, in the center, oh, I'm really struggling with this one.
it's the word boy.
Boy. In the center, Boy George as Peter Pan.
Is he Peter?
I think he's the titular role because it's the image says Peter Pan underneath Boy George.
Okay.
So I'm assuming he's the titular role.
And that kind of makes sense because like Peter Pan famously never wanted to grow up and Boy George is
a boy. Yeah. Okay, so then we have like all these people surrounding him, different images. It looks like Dorothy like made a wrong turn from Oz and ended up in Neverland. And then we have Dorit in a half up, half down, giving like Ariana a run for her money.
Is she Wendy?
So that's what I was thinking. But then in the press release or like the ticket information, she's playing a mermaid, much like Chloe Bailey. And we learn Phoenix and Jagger are Lost Boys.
Good.
Okay, so here's some, like, this is the strangest rollout, but here's some information. The big budget extravaganza adaptation of J.M. Barrie's much-loved tale, Peter Pan, promises to be a spectacular spin on the timeless classic adventure. The show will bring Hollywood glamour by featuring the stage debut of Dorit Kemsley playing the mermaid, known across the globe from the celebrated Real Houses of Beverly Hills TV show. Dorit said, "I am so excited to work with George, who is a dear friend and godfather to my children, Jagger and Phoenix, who will also be in the show as part of Peter Pan's gang."
Is this Perez Hilton?
Is
No.
that Shmi? Isn't the one like Captain Hook's guy?
Yeah.
Who, like the
His, like,
alligators
boyfriend,
always
yeah.
he's always like the alligator's always fucking with Shmi.
Yeah, maybe that's Shmi, or it could be like George. Is George a person? Like the brother?
I don't know. But we thought Dorit was Wendy, so it's like, don't believe what your eyes are telling you.
Also, it's at Resorts World Arena in the UK. Isn't there a Resorts World here? No.
I don't know. So it's like December 22nd to 24th. Christmas Eve. Hello.
That's like famously a time when people watch Peter Pan. No?
I don't think that. I think you're thinking Nutcracker.
I'm getting confused. Never mind. I'm thinking of that movie Hook.
Oh.
And I thought Peter Pan was like their Christmas show, but maybe not.
No. But I think there's other dates. Like I think there's dates as early as October or November as well.
Should we go to UK? UK Hun?
I'm tempted to see, like, but although I gotta believe someone's gonna sneak some footage, even though I don't encourage or applaud this. I believe we're gonna see something out of this, you know, because you're not supposed to record plays and musicals.
Yeah, though people do.
But people do. And maybe that will make you a freak of the week. But I think that's it for this week. Wow, what a week. As usual, head on over to comethroughqueen.com for links to everything. Patreon bonus Patreon pre-show. We got the other two.
Mm-hmm.
We got
Daddy Diaries.
We get into Brendan's review of almost 10 hours of listening to the audiobook.
I still have 1 hour left.
1 hour left. So a lot there. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook group over on comethroughqueen.com. And just like, comment, subscribe, watch your retweet.
Love us, please retweet.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
I wanna see ya come through, Queen.